in ourselves and create a good life. And you can have an extra good life at Throop this coming Thursday. We have not one, not two, but 3 community building events. One starts at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the garden, there'll be a team coming together for fellowship and fun, getting your hands in the soil, and I think up in our fruit trees for a little bit of pruning. And then from 5 until 7, we have our Throop social hour. It happens every first Thursday here at Throop. You can bring a beverage to share. It's always a jolly good time. And then beginning at 7, we have our Spring Sing Karaoke. Thank you to Terry Trindler and Stephanie for organizing our Spring Sing Karaoke night. If you're new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch so you can be sure to know about all these fabulous opportunities to come together. You can fill out an info card that you find in the pew back in front of you. Fill it out, hand it in later in service to an usher, and we'll be in touch with you. And finally, I want to make sure, yes, we have a very special birthday today at Throop. Hio turns 3 years old today. Yay! And let us sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hio. Happy birthday to you. We're so glad you're here and that we have the opportunity to celebrate not only Hio's birthday, but your birthdays with you throughout the year. We have 2 more birthdays coming up this week. I'm just going to share it because I see you right here. Ripley and Rachel. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Uncovered worship is intimately connected with our very lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. Let us open ourselves to the stories that reside within us. Each of us are multitudes, complexities, variations on a theme of life. Tenderly, reverently, we gather up the pieces of who we are, or who we were, and are becoming. Let us bring ourselves into faithful trust. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle, symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And we continue to welcome each other into this sacred space with our opening hymn, number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. And I invite you to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when
take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into truth.
It's in a holy place for sure.
Thank you. Can I hug you?
When we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of hearts turns within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
So we have a change in our troop worship liturgy, and I just want to start by saying I think the microphone is echoey today. It's not? It doesn't sound like. I'm sorry, do I have a whole congregation negating me right now? You know I can see you. Okay, well, if it gets too echoey, I guess we'll just play an echo game or something. It's echoey to me, but Prolo. William. Channing. So, a small change in our liturgy, which is going to help us hold our hearts in a holy place. Some of you may have noticed today that what used to be in the back of the sanctuary, there was a table that had candles, and it was our candles for hope and witness, and you are always invited to light a candle in the back and write something in a small book back there. That part of that has now migrated down toward the front of the sanctuary here in front of the chancel. And we're shifting a little bit to an opportunity for you to share prayers of healing and hope. And so, if there is something that is heavy on your heart, some week in worship, before the service starts, we invite you to come down and light a candle. And you'll be able to, if you want, to fill out a card, your prayer for healing and hope. And you'll hand that to one of our pastoral care team members or a worship associate, and that will eventually get handed up to whoever's in the pulpit. And your prayer, if you wish, would be shared during the pastoral prayer and service, or if you don't want it shared, it will just be held quietly in my heart and in your heart. But I wanted to lift up this little bit of change in our liturgy, and the reason really we're doing it is to help create deeper connections among all of us, and for you all to be able to have the benefit of people in the congregation helping to hold whatever you're holding. And we also then have a practice at Throop of lifting up a promise, a prayer, if you will, to our planet each Sunday. The words for that are in your order of worship, and I invite you to share that with me now. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, with hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself.
Responsive reading today is Holy is This Place by Maureen Killeran. The congregational response is, we trust in a love that will not let us go. Can we try that once?
We trust in a love that will not let us go.
Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory, the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Blessed, we trust in a love that will not let us go. Holy are the places of the dream, the places over the rainbow, where all children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of the dream. We trust in a love that will not let us go. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast, and we hold on and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. We trust in a love that will not let us go. Holy are the places of connection, the places where we risk ourselves, where hands, touch souls, touch minds, and in awareness still, we change our lives. Holy are the places of connection. We trust in a love that will not let us go. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision, where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole-making is this place. We trust in a love that will not let us go.
And today's story is brought to us by Throop players. It's called The Wild Strawberry, and it's a Zen Buddhist tale.
A person traveling through the mountains suddenly found themselves being chased by a huge, hungry tiger. The person ran and ran and ran until they came to the edge of a cliff. There, with nowhere else to go, the person caught hold of a thick vine and swung themselves over the edge. Above them, the tiger growled. Below the person, they heard a sound and looked down to see the hungry tiger waiting for them at the bottom of the vine. Then 2 mice scrambled out from the cliffside. And they began gnawing at the vine.
I like cheese. This isn't cheese. This is a vine. I like vines too.
The person could see the mice were quickly eating through the vine. The person looked at the cliffside in front of them. There they saw a ripe, red, luscious strawberry. Holding on to the vine with one hand, the person reached out quickly with the other and picked the berry. How delicious!
Thank you, Throop players. And in our Kids Dig In program each Sunday, they are encouraged to embrace the sweetness of life, and we sing them into that program. Paula, thank you for leading them today.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
And our pondering is All of Us in the Arms by Angela Herrera. This is a prayer for a fresh, unremarkable morning. It's a prayer to bring us to attention before the stillness of the world. Sunrises and sunsets back and forth, like the rocking of your grandmother's chair. Life coming and going, rising and falling, droning and beating like ancient music. And you remarkable for your ordinariness within it, and you're thinking about it, and you're yearning for meaning. You, dependent, spun into an interdependent web confined to a body. You, independent, conscious, free, and sometimes also lonely, but unconfined in spirit. This is a prayer for you, for your well-being, for your deep peace, and for everyone you love and their well-being, and for the friends we haven't met yet, and for the strangers we'll never meet, though we are closer to them than we think. All of us in the arms of the earth, our mother, her rocking and singing. congregation, I want to just share a little pastoral note with you, and this is really primarily directed to people who identify as cisgender, so people who identify as I do in that way. And I think this is a moment, if you're someone in the congregation that identifies as transgender, this can be your meditative moment of the morning for you to just sit in some of your own peace right now. I know at Troop that sense of bringing deep peace to ourselves and bringing deep peace to others at Troop that we know and love, that is a value that we hold really dearly and closely. And as we move forward in a world where it seems like almost each day that there's executive orders or interviews on TV or things in the paper that are really hurtful about our transgender siblings. If you're cisgender like me and read it and it hurts you, I can just only imagine what our trans siblings and beloveds must be feeling as they experience that. That harm and violence to their spirit. And so some of us have asked our true trans community in this heavy, heavy moment, for those of us that are cisgender, and if that's a new word for you, it means people who are assigned female at birth, and then they also identify as girls or women, or people who are assigned male at birth and identify as men or boys. So our trans community has said in this moment that's so heavy that one of the most important things that we can do here at Troop is get people's pronouns right. And I know for some of us, using different pronouns is new and it's a change, and it might feel awkward because you might not get to practice doing that in other places. And one time last year, we talked about awkward spirituality here and that we value that. And I really want to invite all of you cisgender folks to move into that awkwardness if it feels awkward for you. And we have a few things here to help you with pronouns. One is you could just ask somebody, which pronoun do you like to use? But we also have pins and stickers. They're at the back of the sanctuary, and so a lot of us have those on our name tag. And so if you're unsure, you could always just... Hi, Malcolm. It's nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too, Reverend Tara.
I'm wondering, you have a button on that says they and them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so again, I really want to encourage us to do our best, and then I am someone who doesn't always get it right, and it does feel awkward, and I'll say not great. And so when I have not gotten the correct pronouns, I just say, oh, I'm sorry, they. And I encourage you to practice that as well. And it might even be that you don't realize it until after the conversation. And I think someone would appreciate you coming up a little later, not making a big deal about it, but just saying, oh, you know what? I just realized that when I was talking to you, I used the incorrect pronoun, and I just want you to know that I see that you use they. And that's it. I just say that to you all in the most loving pastoral spirit that I have. And it's like this big group hug. And if I could come through and look all of you right in the eye right now, I would. And so there. Thank you. This church is ours, and we support it through our gifts of time and talent and treasure. Today, if you're able to make a financial donation, you can do that online. The ways to give are in the order of worship, or you may make a gift here in the room. If you're a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak. Her sap doth run in my veins. Boundless my soul, like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the weavings of time without end. My sight as deep as the sea. Beating my heart sounds the measures of old, that of love's eternity. That of love, that of love, that of love's eternity. I feel the tides as they answer the moon, rushing on a far distant sand. Winging my song is the wind of my breast, and my love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries days of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous our faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
And into this new day and a spirit of gratitude, we lift up our thanks for those supporting today's worship service. I'd like to thank Steve, our live stream operator, and Clay. And I'd like to thank Dave, our lay reader, and for organizing Troop Players. Thank you, Troop Players, for telling the wild strawberry. Paula, thank you with the children's program. Chris for being our greeter and usher. I would like to thank Rachel for creating our beautiful altarscape for this month. These pieces of glass symbolize things that were broken, thought lost, and reclaimed from the fires. And another new thing is each month there'll be a mini altar on the back table. I know sometimes you can't totally take in this altarscape, and so there'll be a smaller one in the back for you to see when you come in. And I'd like to thank choir for the inspiring music, Malcolm for all of your collaboration and laughter and wisdom throughout the week, and Fillery in the back row for all the light and professionalism that you bring into our administrative work. And so as we pause for recognition for all the ways that we support our Troop community life, I invite you to say the words of gratitude that are in your order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share.
Congregation, we're going to be teaching you a new song this morning. Well, some of you might have heard it before. But I would love you to repeat this text after me. There is a love.
There is a love
Holding me.
holding me.
There is a love holding all that I love.
There is a love holding all that I love.
There is a love holding all.
There is a love holding all.
I rest in this love.
I rest in this love.
Yeah. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
And we join our breath together in prayer. Breath of life and breath of love, holding us, holding all that we love. May we know the ground upon which we find ourselves as holy. The ground, our earth, holds places of precious memories. As the seasons unfold, we are reminded of who we once were, who we anticipate we are becoming. Our lives hold celebration and joy, change and pain, connection and risk. And in this moment, we have a prayer for healing and hope by Dave. That Dave's brother Pat and his brother Joe, who's holding just as much as their brother Pat, we hold that family in our love and care and compassion. We're challenged to trust ourselves from moment to moment, to trust that we too evolve and grow, We're challenged to trust the shedding of old ideas and are reaching up toward the sky. May we give thanks that we are here on this earth, that we breathe and sigh and laugh through imperfect moments and sluggish days and rainbow dreams that all add up to this one life. Beautiful, holy, ours. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
If you knew my story, you'd have a hard time believing me. You'd think I was lying. Joy and sorrow never last. I'll die trying not to live in the past. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. I left my clothes on that cold river rock, my care and my woes rolled up in my socks. I lay down on that mountain stream, and the icy water rushed over me. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell me. I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Many backs have broken from less weight, I know. I was born to carry more than I can hold. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble, you'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story, the water from my well, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell me. I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble, you'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story.
A good life. What does having a good life mean to you? It's possible that the events of the last few months have shattered whatever the ideal of that life is. Fragments of a good life may now lie scattered all around your feet. Singed by the fires and smashed by the daily barrage of executive orders that are meant to scare us, the broken shards glitter in the spring sunshine, reflect droplets of rain. We may try to remember that picture of a good life we once had. And you may be trying to figure out how to fit the pieces together again in a new, fresh design, one that helps you make sense of your life here in this present moment. What is truly most important to you right now? Is there an equation out there that only if we input the correct variables and constants and operators that we would discover which components equal up a good life? It turns out there is. Oh, I surprised Jacqueline. That's hard to do. But what is a good life anyway, and why does it matter to us good people of progressive faith? Many religions speak to a sense of a good life. They offer complex and nuanced ways to achieve one within the cultures and theologies of their faith community. And here are a few of them distilled. In Judaism, one seeks the good life by following halakha, Jewish law. And that word halakha originally meant walking. Mindful observance of how one lives daily can open up the faithful person to deeper relationships with God, with others, with oneself. And in Christianity, the good life begins by accepting Jesus Christ as Savior, which then opens up the believer to receive grace from God, which then in turn may lead to a life that offers greater comfort and ease. And Buddhism teaches that as long as we remain absorbed in our own self-concern, we will suffer. But when we're able to set aside our self-concern and put our attention on the well-being of others, that we can begin to know contentment. And that is a good life. And for Unitarian Universalists, collectively, we can say that we build our good life upon our shared values that are centered around our ethic of love. And these values we share serve as a commonly held ethical framework out of which we can base our individual moral decisions. When it comes to creating a good life, a part of it is nurturing the ability to slow down, bringing attention to the steadiness of the world, praying for deep peace, rocking and singing in the arms of our earth. So I said, I kind of promised that there's an algorithm for creating your own good life. And I started looking around for this in mid-January, really carefully, amid all the broken glass in our world. So each of us carries a picture of our ideal good life within us. Throughout our lives, we find more and more pieces of it. We place a fragment of it over here, and ooh, we see something that fits right over there. And my pieces, the ones I look for, they're etched with the values of freedom, beauty, tranquility, balance, and a sense of enough. And I wonder, for you, when you think about it, are there 3 or 4 or 5 words that you would choose to etch on your pieces of glass that constitute your good life? Often in my day-to-day, I feel like that person Ripley played so well in Our Story for All Ages. I feel like I'm being chased by tigers And those tigers are my schedule. And just when I think I've gotten my schedule more or less in balance, here come those pesky mice that like not only to eat cheese, but they want to gnaw away at the vines of my carefully constructed schedule. And the strawberry, that is the good life, just out of reach, but oh so delicious. In mid-January, trying to keep the tigers and mice at bay while I searched for that elusive strawberry, I came across the work of Cal Newport. Maybe some of you are familiar. Newport is a professor and author who writes books on technology, productivity, and culture. And his recent book is called Slow Productivity: The Lost Art of Accomplishment Without Burnout. And it is changing my life. And I've been listening to Newport's podcast, and that's where I learned about the algorithm for a good life. Yes, it really exists. Newport was referencing an interview with an author called Jim Collins, and some of you maybe read, yes, Ian, I knew you would have read this. Jim Collins' book from the early 2000s, it's called From Good to Great. There were a lot, yes, Steven's got it too. Yeah, who else got that in your back pocket out there? I like seeing you nod. But a lot of business leaders and nonprofit leaders were reading it. And in the interview, Collins, the author of From Good to Great, talked about the strategy he uses to prioritize in his own life the amount of time he spends on the creative, deep work that gives his life meaning, that helps him feel in line with his most cherished values. And so each day, Collins tracks the hours of his day on a spreadsheet, and there are 3 cells on each line. 1 is a quick summary of whatever it was he was doing that day. 2, the number of hours spent doing that task. But then 3, he created a code for the quality of each one of those days. And the code was +2, +1, 0, -1, -2. Those mathematicians, engineers out there, you're looking very intrigued right now. But I got to tell you, that's as far into the math this pastor's getting today. I knew it would not be authentic for me to share anymore, but that's basically it. And so rating the quality of the day had to be in real time. He couldn't go back 2 weeks later and try to remember the quality of any certain day. So after he's doing this, Colin goes back, he gathers data on how he spent his time on the +2 or -2 days, and he uses this to make iterative changes in his life. Small adjustments to how he shapes his day. He's like, +2 days, what am I actually doing? How am I spending my time? How can I do a little bit more of that? Not huge leaps, not big changes. And as Collins makes these little changes in how he spends his day, he may not know exactly what those small changes are, where those small changes are going to take him. But each day he's trying to move himself a little bit closer to that good life he knows is just within his reach. And that's giving him energy to do the creative, deep work that is most meaningful to him. There was so much change that is all around us. My default mode right now, what I want to do is I want to scoop up every single thing that's been shattered, and I want to hastily piece it all back into something that looks almost like it did before. But I've been thinking, maybe that's actually not what this particular moment in our lives, maybe that's not what this moment is calling for. Making hasty decisions will not necessarily help any of us prioritize the values that make each one of us come alive, that make our lives meaningful and purposeful. In this time of disruption, as we're figuring out which one of those pieces to hold onto, which pieces to repair, which to put over to the side, there is possibility and power in letting go of the predictability of what was once. And we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next. We can't. The Good Life algorithm, it's not about creating absolute certainty in what comes next. It doesn't point us toward a clearly defined end goal. But the Good Life algorithm, it helps us trust in ourselves and the experiences we have that do create more meaning. It helps us love our small part of earth that we're on, to love it with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our soul, all of our strength. And it builds up that trust within ourselves so that when we need to, and we will, that we can speak and sing and dance and love with the bravest of fire in our hearts and souls. And we sing together our closing hymn, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire, number 34, and I invite you all to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 34.
Though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain, as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not begin my love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship Thee, and are free. Though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire, but have not love, my words are vain, as sounding brass and hopeless gain.
Gently take the hand or shoulder of someone near you in the pews. And our chalice is extinguished, but we carry its light with us. We carry this moment of connection with us. We carry these relationships with us in all we do. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen, and blessed be.
I'm the underbelly, I am the claw, never one thing, no, not one thing at all. I'm a street fighter, I'm a prayer for peace, I'm a holy roller, I'm a honeybee. I am the truth, I am the lie, I am the ground, I am the sky, I am the silence, I am the call. Never one thing, no, not one thing at all. I'm the underbelly, I am the claw. Never one thing, no, not one thing at all. I'm a street fighter, I'm a prayer for peace. I'm a holy roller, I'm a honeybee. I am hope, I am defeat, I am broken, I am complete. I am the grace, I am the fall. Never one thing, no, not a one thing at all. I'm the underbelly, I am the claw. Never one thing, no, not a one thing at all. I'm a street fighter, I'm a prayer for peace. I'm a holy roller, I'm a honeybee. I'm the underbelly, I am the claw. Never one thing, no, not one thing at all. I'm a street fighter, I'm a prayer for peace. I'm a holy roller, I'm a honeybee. A hint of things to come for